Zordon said these power morphers would give us power. Let's do it!
Mastodon!
Pterodactyl!
Triceratops!
Saber-tooth tiger!
Tyrannosaurus!
Power Rangers!
If you guys know me, I am a fan of the Power Rangers series. The TV series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was a huge hit back in the 90s. A lot of kids I know back in the day have at least one merchandise of Power Rangers, whether it's toys, masks, action figures, posters, home videos, you named it. What's not to like about 6 teenagers in colorful spandex beating the hell out of giant rubber monsters? Now, at the time, not a lot of people, including myself, knew that Power Rangers was an American adaptation of Super Sentai. We used to think that Power Rangers was an American-made thing. When I was first introduced to Super Sentai series, which was Gosei Sentai Dai Ranger, I legit thought that Japan took some of the properties from Power Rangers. When I first saw Kiba Ranger, I said to myself, hey, why is that kid wearing Tommy's White Ranger outfit? It was not until I was introduced to the internet that I found out that it was the other way around. Power Rangers was adapted from the Japanese TV show Super Sentai. Ever since I started to realize that Power Rangers mostly took the action footage straight out of Super Sentai, my enjoyment of the series slightly dwindled. I still like the series for what it is though. Regardless of your thoughts in Power Rangers, I am still grateful that I got into Power Rangers. Power Rangers was like a door for me towards the world of tokusatsus. Without Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I would have never known shows like Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, and other tokusatsu shows out there. Now, getting back into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, there are games literally for every console during the 4th generation. We got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers games for the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Nintendo Game Boy, Sega CD, which the less we mention the better, and the one that we are going to take a look at, the Sega Game Gear. When we talk about a good Power Rangers fighting game, we would probably point at Battle for the Grid. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is a really good fighting game to the point where it was competed in tournaments like Combo Breaker. I have been wanting to cover this game for a very long time. This is one of the absolute hidden treasures, not only for Power Rangers games, but for fighting games as well. Released in 1994, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Sega Game Gear was developed by a studio called Sims.
Damson New?
Fuma Yibs.
No, not that Sims. Sims, which stands for Soft Development Innovation Multi-Success. I don't know why it's not called S-DIMS instead, but whatever, Sims works better. Now, Sims was a developer studio under Sega Enterprises back in the 90s. Some of the games that they developed are Disney's Aladdin for the Sega Game Gear, Tails Sky Patrol for the Sega Game Gear, and Shadow Dancer for the Sega Genesis. There are 2 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers games for the Sega Game Gear. The first one is based off Season 1, while the second one is based off the movie and parts of Season 2. For this showcase, I'm going to be focused only on the first game. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie is going to be covered in another day. Let's talk about the game itself. For an 8-bit handheld game, they really did a good job with its presentation. Sprite works are really well done, even to the slightest details. Look at the Pink Ranger here. They even got the helmet and outfit design right for her. She's not just the same sprite with different color, much like in the SNES games. This game has 3 modes: Story Mode, Versus Mode, and Link Mode. In Story Mode, you follow the story of the first season of Power Rangers. You can only play as the Rangers in this mode. This mode is a mix between a fighting game and a beat-em-up game. In most stages, you need to fight the putties first, then you proceed to fight the monster boss. Once you defeated the boss, Rita will grow the monster and you have a Megazord fight. This game really does capture the show very well, even to its cutscenes. There are 7 stages in total for the story mode. At first, you can only choose between 5 Rangers. However, once you completed the 4th stage by defeating the evil Green Ranger, you will unlock the Green Ranger, the best character in the game by the way. Versus Mode is your typical arcade-style fighting game. There is a total of 16 playable characters to choose from. Regular-sized characters, however, cannot fight large-sized characters in this mode. For example, you cannot have a match between the Red Ranger and the Megazord, although this restriction can be omitted once you have completed the story mode. Versus Mode also gets a difficulty boost. Playing Versus Mode is difficult as hell even in normal mode. This is not something you can probably do in your first try. It's one of those games where you really need to, you know, get good. Link mode is just a versus mode with a friend. Back then, we used to have link cables between two devices to play multiplayer. This game would definitely be a fun time to spar with friends. Let's talk about the controls before we go to the gameplay. The Sega Game Gear only has 2 action buttons, 1 and 2. There are 3 types of attacks, 1 for punch, 2 for kick, and 1-2 for strong attack. Each character has 3 types of special move as well. You can press down forward 1, down forward 2, or down forward 1-2. The button commands are very simplistic, but it makes for a very solid fighting game. Sims really did a good job in optimizing every aspect of a fighting game for the Sega Game Gear. Now with that out of the way, let's dive into the gameplay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not going to be an in-depth review or an in-depth gameplay. This is just a quick showcase to all of you lovely people out there fighting games that you may have never heard of. So, without further ado, this is me, Profar, and...
Alright then, it's morphin' time!
Alright people, here we are with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Sega Game Gear. Now, in this showcase, I'm going to be playing 2 stages of the story mode. But before we go to the story mode, I want to show some all of the characters in this game. Okay, so let's go with versus mode. Or versus game, whatever it is you like to call it. Sometimes it's my instinct to call them modes instead of games. Now, here are the 16 characters. You got the Red Ranger, the Black Ranger, Pink Ranger, Blue Ranger, Yellow Ranger, Green Ranger, Megazords too, such as Megazord, Dragon Zord, and Dragon Zord Fighter for... I think it's called Dragon Zord Fighter Formation or Fighter Form. I forgot, okay? It's been a while since I played or since I watched the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1, of course. Then you also got the villains, the Putty Patrols, Goldar, King Sphinx, Poluticorn, Shell Shock, Nasty Knight, and the final boss, Cyclopsis. Now, as I said before, you cannot, if you play as the regular sized characters, such as the Rangers or the Putty Patrols, you cannot be fighting large sized characters, such as the Megazords or Cyclopsis. However, if you're, and the other way around goes as well, if you're playing the Megazord, you cannot be fighting the regular Rangers or the Putty Patrols. However, when you beat the story mode or the story game, the restriction will be lifted, so you can play regular characters fighting against the large-sized characters. For example, I want to play the Red Ranger, or let's say the Green Ranger fighting the Dragon Zord. That's a possibility if you completed the story mode or the story game. Right, with the character select screen out of the way, let us go to the story game. We're gonna play 2 stages, like I said, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna do a Rita voice since right now I am having a cold, so no. Okay, this is the first stage, King Sphinx. Okay, I'm gonna be playing as the Red Ranger because he's my second favorite character in the game. Okay, as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, we started out fighting Putty Patrols, which is kind of like a beat 'em up game. They have very low health. One hit can take them down. So here's my special. So here it is. This 1 is for punch, 2 is for kick, 1-2 is for strong attack, like that. It's kind of like a strong kick for Jason or the Red Ranger. You can also perform strong attacks on the air like this. You perform like a rider kick. And here are the special attacks for Jason. Down forward 1 will give you a vertical slash. Oh, there's Goldar, the sub-boss. Down forward 2, it will give you a horizontal slash. Oh, shit. And this game is tough, okay? Down forward 1, 2 will give you a mix of them both. Alright, fight the boss. Oh, not yet, sorry. Still fighting the Putty Patrol. Where's the boss King Sphinx? Yeah, you can dash as well. You can run. Really, really solid fighting game here. Sprite works are also really good, like, as I said before. Oh, shit. Like, words cannot do justice with this game. You have to try it yourself. Oh, trying to disappear, huh? Luckily, in the story game, your health bar can regenerate once you defeated all the putties and fight the boss. In versus mode or versus game, you cannot do that. You really need to be careful. Oh. It's a shame as well that this game only came out for the Sega Game Gear. I wish this game was a Super Nintendo game or a Sega Genesis game. Like, even with the limitation of the Game Gear, the game looks really good. Imagine if this game came out for the Genesis or the Super Nintendo. It will look times better. 10 times better, in my opinion. Or anybody, if there's a remastered fan-made project or remake fan-made project of this game, I would definitely love to try it out. Alright, we're gonna have the Megazord fight now. We're fighting Goldar first. One thing I kind of missed in when I played Battle for the Grid, Battle for the Grid, is Megazord fights. Ouch! He's kicking my ass. I'm playing in normal mode, by the way. I'm getting rusty as well, since it's been a while since I played this game. Gotcha! Another thing I like, another details that I like in this game, when you're playing as the Megazord, is that every time you jump, or you hit the ground, the screen shakes. See? It gives you the impression that these characters are giants. Duh, gotcha. Alright, tech mode. Okay, I stun him, and then sword attack. That Megazord saber is really effective. Oh, he's blocking it. Alright, one final blow! Ah, gotcha. Kaboom! Alright, that's the first stage done. Now we go to the second. We are gonna fight the Nasty Knight. Okay, since we first picked a male ranger, the Red Ranger, now let's pick a female ranger. Let's go with the Pink Ranger. Right? Okay, he appeared early. Yeah, also, Rangers are not just clones of each other. Excuse me. They do have specific super attacks. For example, Kimberly here has the gymnast move. Oh, Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. Use the bow as a blade. For an 8-bit game, the music still really sounds good. I mean, if this game is good on 8-bit, imagine how better it would be on 16-bit. All right, ouch. But this game could be a competitive game. Like, if you have this game on the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis, imagine the crazy combos that you can do since you have more buttons on those consoles. Like, you can basically make a Street Fighter-esque game with this. There was a fighting game, right? In the Sega Genesis, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but it wasn't that good. Which confuses me. Why they were able to pull it off in the Game Gear, but not for the Sega Genesis. Ouch. A nasty knight. He is nasty. Dude. Getcha. Yeah, you can only do 3 types of attack. Like I said, punch, kick, and strong attack. Most times, strong attack knock down your enemies. Depends on character, of course. Ouch. Gotcha. Alright, Megazord fight. Like, I really like these cutscenes. Again, I don't know why. I know I repeat myself often, but I don't know why we can't get this on a Super Nintendo or a Sega Genesis. This should have been a Sega Genesis game, in my opinion. No, instead we got that, we got poor man's version of Street Fighter 2. Like, calling that a poor man's version of Street Fighter 2 is an insult to Street Fighter 2. Alright. Yeah, the super strong attack are, as you can say, strong. Ouch. Really, if you are a fighting game enthusiast, you really need to play this game. Or also, if you are a Power Rangers Tokusatsu fan, highly recommend it. I highly recommend you to play this game. Alright, oh shit. Alright, one fighter blow! There you go. And the job is done. Alright, stage clear. Okay, we have 2 stages out of the way, and that's it for the showcase. And now, back to the video. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your quick dose of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Sega Game Gear. Since we have covered the first Power Rangers game for the Sega Game Gear, the next showcase will be the Power Rangers movie game. Stay tuned for the next underrated fighting game showcase. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is not only one of the most underrated fighting games ever, it's arguably one of the best games for the Sega Game Gear. I seriously recommend any of you who are fighting game enthusiasts to play this amazing hidden gem. So what are your thoughts on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Sega Game Gear? Have you played the game before? Let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, this is me, Profar. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give me a thumbs down. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.